Hi, we're here at 59 East 59th Street Theaters with James Ortiz and Claire Karpen of Strangemen and Company performing their new show, The Woodsman. And I'll have them tell us about the show and how they got around to creating it.
So when did the journey begin?
The Woodsman was created as a short fundraiser, a short piece to be created for a fundraiser for another show that we actually brought to 59th about a year ago. And it was really just a way to sort of like showcase something new that was sort of rolling around in my head, which was a retelling of the Tin Man's origin story from The Wizard of Oz, the novel, and to really dig into the material and to really dig into what the story was actually about. We did it once there, and it had this really incredible reaction. Everybody had a really fantastic time there. Then we were able to do it again at Ars Nova at part of the Ant Fest.
And I saw it in its second incarnation.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm actually working with Strangemen Company for the first time in this project. And I came to see it because a friend of mine was in it and was incredibly moved by it. And I believe even sent her an email, which she then forwarded on to James. And so for this version, they recruited me to help co-direct. Because James is amazing and is in it and making the puppets and designed the gorgeous set. And that's a lot of hats to wear. So I came on board to help. And I would say from the moment that we met too, it was like very easy to work with each other. And it's been a great partnership.
Normally these relationships don't work as well as they have.
No, it's been,
really
and as
great.
quickly too.
It's really,
very...
absolutely. But it's a really special piece. You know, it's without text. There's no talking at any point in the show, and it's incredibly physical, sort of out of the school of the Lecoq school, the Lecoq method, and doesn't incorporate bunraku puppetry.
Which is beautiful. And has been fun. I'm new to the puppet world, and so I was really taken with the puppets that have been built for the show, and the way that the puppets are used in the show is there are actors, human beings, actors, and then there's select puppets in the show, like the witch is a puppet, and there's a new sort of beast, a very exciting big beast puppet, and some crows. And then, of course, the big reason I think puppets are used for this show is because there's the Tin Man, the woodsman, and the story of how he becomes that is told through the use of puppets in a very unique and special way that really gets at, I think, what that experience is like for somebody to slowly turn to a machine.
I mean, I think a lot of the initial thought about the show was it should start with a person. The story as written is that it's about a man who, through a series of unfortunate and terrible incidents that are all self-inflicted, and because he's so in love with the girl, he ends up mutilating himself and becoming a machine. And that's actually what's in the original text from 1899 that L. Frank Baum wrote. And
which is beautiful, by the way. I mean, I think we're all familiar with the movie. Most people are familiar with the movie, and this is the first time I had the chance to go back and read the book. And the book is a beautiful, beautiful, special book. And I feel like we are honoring the story that everybody knows and loves, but we're honoring the original story in a new way with this production that will introduce it to a whole new generation.
I told you the other day, someone said it reminds them of Edgar Allan Poe. And it went, I think so. I think that's kind of right. It's easy to say we could be doing a dark version of Oz, and I don't think that's the case. I think
it has a lot of heart.
I think it's sort of early American folktale, an early American folktale, and that's sort of what we're playing with.
And a real American, it's a true American fairy tale, a true American mythology myth,
absolutely.
I guess.
I mean, it's The Wizard of Oz is the only American fairy tale that we have. We don't have a mythology to speak of, so it's sort of been extraordinary to do that research and go, that's what we need to do. That's what we're doing here. And the original thought was that it should always be a person that slowly turns into a puppet, so he loses his humanity in a lot of ways, and then everything sort of blossomed from there.
And I will say what's striking, though, is even though he's becoming this machine or this puppet, the way that the puppets work, and this is again because I'm new to it, the puppets, there's something really, really magical and theatrical about puppets. It's the same thing with mask work or some mime work or clown work that almost feels even more real than a person. And the way that the puppeteers are working the puppets, it just, the way they come to life, it's you kind of feel like a kid again. It's just full of that magic, and the way that you believe in this thing is really beautiful and really fun to watch. Just from when somebody picks up a puppet and starts to breathe with it, and the puppet feels like it's breathing, all of a sudden, I mean, I get shivers talking about it because it just suddenly feels like the space gets more magical and exciting, and anything could happen.
Yeah, I would say, it's amazing. Someone saw the preview the other night and said, did you underscore the whole show with the actor's breath? Because I felt like there was sort of a musicality to the breath, but I think since so much of the show is sort of puppet and prop theater based, that it's all sort of based around the cues of the actor's breath. So what's been sort of interesting is sort of, I think because of that, and the audience is so aware of that, it's sort of, the power of kind of makes people just go there.
They go there. They breathe too. They have that moment.
They inhale it. A lot of things happen.
Yeah.
Inspiration.
How many people are in the company for the show?
It is a cast of 10.
9 actors, and then our violinist Edward Hardy, who wrote all of the music, and
Brilliant.
It's so beautiful and so fitting, and it has again a type of magic because of that live sound and the way that he underscores everything.
Again, with the idea of sort of this early American fiddle situation, you know, trying to get this sense that, trying to again remove it from the MGM understanding, you know, trying to go, this is actually, again, the American folktale that it always was meant to be.
Great. All right. Thank you very much.
Great.
Thank you.
How cool. Thanks.
Thank